Today you're going to be learning all about forces. Forces are anything that cause objects, like this soccer ball, to move. They can cause it to change direction, or they can cause something to stop. But what exactly is a force? Well, a force is always either a push or a pull. Let's look at some examples. In this video, a man is pushing a shopping cart through a store. And in this video, a man is pulling a shopping cart through a store. Let's look at some more examples. In this video, this dad is pushing his daughter on the swing. And in this video, two siblings are pulling on this stuffed animal. In addition, there are two kinds of forces. There are contact forces, which are forces when two things actually touch. For example, this tennis racket touches or makes contact with the tennis ball and pushes it to move. The other type of force is a non-contact force. For example, this baseball is falling through the air. Even though nothing is touching the baseball in the air, it's falling because it's being pulled by gravity. Gravity would be a non-contact force. Let's look at more examples. This soccer ball is being kicked by a soccer player. It moves when his foot makes contact or touches the ball. This boy is playing with magnets. Even though the magnets are never touching each other, they can pull each other off the table. Magnets are an example of a non-contact force. Let's get some practice identifying these forces together. Take a look at this man at the gym. What forces do you see happening? Well, is the man touching the bar? Yes, he is touching the bar. And is he pushing or pulling the bar? Well, if you watch, we can see that he's pushing the bar upwards. So because he's touching it, it's a contact force, and it's a push. We could say this is a contact push force. Let's look at another. Watch this. Did you see it? Let's watch it again. Right there. Do you see? The dog starts going too far ahead, and the owner yanks on the leash. What type of force do you think this is? Well, the leash is touching the dog, so it's a contact force, and the owner is pulling on the leash. We would say this is a contact pull force. Let's look at one more. Here's a kid climbing on a rock wall. He looks like he's doing really well, but then all of a sudden, he falls. What type of force is acting on him that makes him fall? Well, you probably know it's gravity, but gravity is what type of force? Well, gravity isn't touching him, so it's a non-contact force, but gravity is pulling him downwards. He is falling because of a non-contact pull force. Now it's your turn to try identifying some forces on your own. What forces do you see in this video? Well, the biggest force we see here is the boy pushing on the car. He's pushing and touching the car, so this is a contact push. Take a look at this one. There are actually two forces here. See if you can spot them both. What two forces did you see? Well, in this, the first force is when the person opens the door. They pull it open. The next force is when they pull out the tray. Both of these are examples of touching something and pulling on it. These are contact pulls. Here's our last force for today. What force do you see here? Well, if we focus on what the magnet's doing, we see the magnet isn't actually touching the paperclip, but it is pulling on it because the paperclip gets pulled towards the magnet. So we could say this is an example of a non-contact pull. Now that you've had some practice identifying forces, just remember, a force is anything that makes something move, change direction, or stop.